Okay, this week in rating, we're going to put all our skills together that we've learned over the last week or so in our persuasive, and we're going to finish a proper persuasive by the end of the week. Now, to start of the week, we're going to focus on our introduction to make sure we get that awesome, because we don't really need to practice our conclusion because that's the easiest part of a persuasive. So we're going to practice a couple of introductions, and then what we're going to do is we're going to create an awesome persuasive. Now, you could probably use some that you've already created. I'd prefer that you use different ones, but we'll see sort of how we go. But we're learning about the conclusion and the introduction this week, and then putting it all together. Okay, so this is the structure of a persuasive. Okay, it has a title. It has my opinion. It has an introduction. I have my first opinion, reason, and example. I have my second opinion, reason, example. And then I have my third opinion, reason, and example. Now, we've only been practicing 2 opinion, reasons, examples. In a proper persuasive, we have 3. So the thing is, we know what to do. We've just got to come up with a third reason. Okay? And then at the end, we have our conclusion. Now, these things here, we can see what we've done. So the ticks are for what we've already done and what we're sort of pretty good at, and some of us are pretty awesome at. So the tick here for opinion, we've already done that. Okay, did that last week. Tick here for the opinion, reason, and evidence. Done that. Tick. We did that last week. What we're doing here this week is in the box, the introduction and the conclusion, and all we're doing is we're adding another opinion, reason, and example. Okay, so this is what it will look like. Now, I'm just going to use the one that I did last week. That way there you're familiar with it and you know what I'm talking about. I didn't want to start up a whole new one. I mean, I could argue everything. Now, so in my opinion, I believe that you don't need to pick up dog poo after your dog. So that's my opinion. Bang. Introduction. This is the bit where you need to make it super duper awesome, and then hopefully the reader goes, ooh, I'm going to read on. Because most people go, of course you've got to pick up. Make the reader want to read more. Okay, so it's got to be emotive. You've got to get them in tears. You've got to get them happy. You've got to get them excited. Okay, this is where you put all those wow words in and those descriptive words to try and get that reader involved. Okay, so my introduction. Have you thought about a world where there is no natural fertiliser to make greener grass? Or poor, starving dogs who go without food? Well, I can help you with all these issues. Okay, so I've tried to go on the emotional. Those poor, starving dogs who go without food, and people go, oh, those poor doggies. Okay, what about a world without green grass? Oh, I couldn't imagine it. There'd be just dirt and concrete everywhere. It's horrible. Okay, so I've tried to be emotive in terms of getting people to read on. And then people go, how can I help the poor little starving dogs? And then they read on. So, these are the same as I did last week. So my first opinion, reason, example. So restated, in my opinion, there is no need to pick up after your dog's poo, as it is a natural fertiliser and it helps the grass grow. Okay, done. My second, restated my opinion, there is no need to pick up dog poo, as it is a valuable food source for homeless and starving dogs. This is good for the community, as it keeps the dogs away from people's bins. Okay, so I did that last week, but that's my second one. My third one, I'm not going to write the whole thing, but for the conclusion to make sense, I'm telling you what my reason is. My reason for the third one is payback for your enemy. Okay, so obviously the payback for the enemy would be like, how awesome is it if you set up your dog to poo and your enemy steps in it? Okay, so that would be my third argument. So I've done my three opinion, reasons, and evidences. Now my conclusion. Now this is the easy bit because there is no new information whatsoever. All you're doing is just restating all your reasons here. That is all you're doing. So, it is imperative that you don't pick up after your dog to help the environment. So this is the environment. This is my first reason, the environment with the grass growing. The community, so this helps the community because the people's trashes, and then possibly sweet revenge, so payback for your enemy. So the conclusion, there should be no new facts, reasons or evidence whatsoever. It should be pretty much just simple. Don't pick up after your dog because it's a natural fertiliser, it helps feed starving dogs, and it's payback for the enemy. That is it. Nothing new. Okay? So that's what you've got to focus on. Now that is pretty much what we're going to do by the end of the week. Now the feedback on what people have been doing. Good to see a lot of people actually listening to the feedback that I give. The main issues that we are having with our persuasives is people, so this is one paragraph, this is another paragraph, this is another paragraph. You only put one reason per paragraph. Now you can put as much evidence as you want in there to help out. There are a couple of people who are really, really good at giving me 3 or 4 bits of evidence to actually help out with their reason. Now that's fantastic because the more evidence you have, the more somebody will believe you. Okay? But there is only not one reason in each paragraph. So all I'm talking about here is the fact that it's a natural fertiliser. That is it. I'm not even mentioning homeless or starving dogs. That's it. It's a natural fertiliser. And then you give me all the evidence to back that up and why that's good. As long as it's something to do with natural fertiliser. In my second one, it's all about the need to feed homeless and starving dogs. That is all I'm putting in there. Okay, and the third one would be, once again, all it is talking about payback for enemies. And then you give me as many examples of how payback for an enemy would be good. Okay, so that is a main focus that people need to work on because they're getting a little bit mixed up. They're putting 2 reasons in one paragraph. Okay, you only put the one reason in each paragraph. So this is what it's going to look like by the end of the week. The first few days, all we're going to do is practice our introduction and just a bit of a fake conclusion. Okay, so you're just going to think of 3 reasons and then just put them into a bit of a conclusion. They could be the ones that you did from last week. Okay, that's fine. It's just practicing that you do not put any new information in. We're going to practice this for 2 days. If you become awesome at that for 2 days, then what you maybe 3 days. If you become awesome at that, then what's going to happen is you're going to write your full persuasive, okay, on Monday. Then what I'll get people to do, because we have been working on editing and making it better. So, for example, if you keep up with the task and you do all the daily tasks, more than likely on Thursday, this is what you will create. Okay. Then on Friday, what you're going to do is you're going to look at it and go, okay, I want to make this better. Yep, it was pretty good the first time, but as a writer, I can always improve my writing. What am I going to do to improve it? So then on the Friday, you have a look at your piece of work and you edit it till it's finished. Then that will be the end of the week. Okay, so for the first 2-3 days, we're going to be really focusing on the introduction and the conclusion. Focusing on emotion. Focusing on shock. Making people want to read. Okay, give them a reason that they can't put your persuasive down. That is the whole point of the introduction. Okay, so yep, that's pretty much it. So by the end of the week, you're going to have this finished because you've been practicing this, and this week we're learning about the other 2. Okay, so hopefully people come up with some awesome persuasives on something. Now, if you want a topic to do your persuasive, just ask me. Okay, I've got plenty of topics. But if you can think of your own reason, it's even better because then you can think of some good reasons and evidence for that. So that is what our writing will look like this week. It will be putting it all together and finishing off our persuasive. So hopefully I see some super duper awesome persuasives at the end of the week. Thank you.